Hey everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. In this one, we're going to do a PvP build for Spider-Man. He is probably the most annoying / overpowered, easy to build character in the game, I'd say, at least as far as PvP. That dodge stacking can drive you nuts. The cocooning, especially with the new guard break changes, is going to drive you nuts. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they tweak this guy. Sorry, Spider-Man out there, but if you're going to want to make a build to make this guy top notch on PvP, got a video and a graphic here for you. Special shout out to Hassan, as always, who helped put together the build. One of the better players and analysts in the game. So let's get to it.
Bring me WolverThor!
So here's the graphic, real quick sneak peek to it. I'll try to have this on screen while I go through each item. You can see the skills here a little bit up higher where we've got them in the specific order. I'll explain that 2A, 3C, you got some card exclusive up there, the specializations, some preferred companions, and then the gear. Try to keep it as simple as possible, and we'll walk through it step by step. All right, so I've got my screen now set up so you can kind of still see the graphic a little bit. I will on my Spider-Man, we will look at the skills. All right, so setup in this first ability. When I say 2A, you can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then A, B, C, D. That's what that means. So 2A. So this is a web shooter ability, which, by the way, hits like a truck, and that's what you're going to end up leaning into when we get to the gear. So this one has got a short cooldown, 10 seconds, 20 stam for how good this thing actually is. Good Lord. It feels like it hits for way more than 390%. I'll say that. Maybe there's a 1 in front of that that's hidden. I don't know. But it decreases movement speed by 30%, and it decreases the opponent's accuracy rate by 15%, which is a big deal because the higher your accuracy that you need so that you can hit Spider-Man because of his passive dodge abilities. And this happens only when it's for 7 seconds upon reaching max stack count. And it cocoons for 4 seconds upon reaching max stack count as well. So the weird part that's about this is, like, if you're looking at the movement speed and accuracy, if this is reading right, it's like, well, the movement speed and accuracy rate only changes when you get to max stack count. I actually don't know if that's right. I feel like I'm slower and I'm not as accurate before reaching max stack count. But anyway, does about 390% damage. So it's pretty solid ability. In the number 2 spot, which is 3C, you've got a spider combat ability, a little bit higher cooldown and stam, almost 20 seconds, and then stam at 32, medium guard break. This is going to attack your enemies with consecutive web swings. This is the untargetable while using the skill. People get really annoyed from this. You can't hit him. He's swinging around. You're waiting for him. A lot of times what will happen is they'll swing and they'll come out shooting their web shooters out of this. It is a vicious combo, this 1-2 hit. In the 3 spot, we've got another spider combat ability. This one is the title of this one specifically is Endless Swing. The web shooter mastery one is web shot. This third one, which is 1D, this is a spider combat, almost 12-second cooldown against small stam, knocks back when the skill landed. That type of stuff only happens when somebody is guard broken. Again, stacking. Same concept I talked about, your stacking stuff here. So you're getting more stacks out there to get somebody slowed down, less accurate, and eventually cocooned. This hits pretty hard. Kicks the enemy while tumbling and fires another web shot. It's about 774% damage. Pretty top notch. Another web shooter ability. This one is an insanely short cooldown. The web shooters, this one is the gyroscope, the one where, as you can see, it throws the ball at you and just hits you. It's pretty accurate, tracks pretty well. Again, you got the web stacking going on where you're getting slower and you're losing the accuracy as the stacks count up. It says upon max stack count, but I'm slow before that. And then eventually cocoon, a decent guard break with medium. Hits for about 502%. And then last but not least, it's a web tech ability. This is spider bots. So this is adding that the stacks out there. The duration's for about 10 seconds. It's a small hit, But the nice part is it's doing stacks. All right, so that's what this is. A lot is about slowing down, stacking. You're getting all this stuff that's going to affect somebody. You know, nothing really all that crazy besides that. So again, we got some spider tech. We've got web shooters, spider combat. So we've got a little bit of every one. The gear leans into the web shooters because those really just, they hit you hard. They take you out. Now, I want to mention card exclusives before I forget about it. So if you want to ever look at these card codex, hit this. These are what you can get from him. We're talking PvP. On here, we've got listed PvP damage decrease and increase. Personally, I think you always want to get that decrease max before you get the increase, so that way you can survive. Both of them are important. And then defense pierce is a huge PvP stat. So you want to make sure that you got there. And I've thrown total damage on there because if for some reason you've got those other stats built up through other methods or, you know, places for gear, then maybe you've got some room for total damage. But I would definitely make sure those first two and then the third one are for sure capped as best you can or close to it before you worry about total damage. So those are cards exclusives. Specialization. So you can see I don't have any specializations built out at all. Let's find this one, I believe. So Goblin's Madness. It increases your total damage and decreases your defense. But frankly, as Spider-Man, who cares? You're dodging as much as you can. You might, when you get hit, it might hit you harder, but man, you're going to be hitting like a truck. So that's going to be the first one you want to make sure to build out. So definitely kind of come up and bring this way. You're going to want to go both ways to wrap around that. Next one that we've got on the graphic here is the Transcend Sense. Increases max dodge rate by 1.5%. You want to make sure you get the dodge stat as high as you can with Spider-Man. It is the thing that makes him go round. There's going to be another tie in here, I think, with some of that, but make dodge. Build up that dodge. Next one we got up is Scorpion's Pursuit. Recovers dodge skill gauge by a certain percentage, depending what level you're at, when using a Spider Combat class skill. So those two Spider Combat classes, part of the reason why you want to have him in there is to get that dodge skill built up a little bit more. And then last but not least, converts a certain amount of your dodge rate into damage. When I said you want to make sure you want to dodge that or increase that and max that dodge rate, partially because of this as well. Not only do you want to dodge a bunch, but you're also going to be hitting harder with all that dodge as well. Spider-Man with these things is a pain in the butt to get past in any game mode, frankly, PvP style. So those are the ones I definitely recommend. Halfson definitely recommends to build up. Companion wise, we are going to want to build this up. Let's see. So we want to go to our companions. Let's see. All right. So companion special. So I threw America Chavez on there just because she's always decent. But a lot of the guys who run Spider-Man, they typically have Hulk because he just makes it harder to get around. Spider-Man's annoying. It gives you a little, thing to mess around with. America Chavez, she's great in basically anything. The damage, the getting rid of Hulks. So if you want to try that, I personally threw in Spider-Man as well. The reason that I did this, it's collection stat, but he's got some dodge rate increases there, which will help with your Spider-Man. And additionally, he also helps stack that web, the web stacking, so that you slow somebody down, accuracy, and cocoon. So for that reason, I threw him on there for a little bit. He lasts for about 9 seconds. I think it's a decent companion to throw out there. So for that reason, I put him out there. Now, last but not least, so we've got the gear, right? So we've got a hero gear, or we don't want to actually look at it. So the collections, we'll look at the gear. So when we're looking at this, we had web shooters, and we have on Sakar, which you're going to get here is the dodge rate plus web shooters, right? You get it. You love it. It's fantastic. Love using it. And then the special gear that you want to lean into is the Eyes of Osiris, which again lean into those web shooter mastery class skills. They make those things hit like trucks. They are absolutely phenomenal. So the Spider-Man stuff that we've got on here, again, here's some different sets if you want to look at them. I've got this sort of graphic on my Discord if you want to join. You can see these things. They're all pretty solid. So you can kind of see where the gear sets shake out. And then, we talked about web mastery. That's why it's there. We are using some spider combat, but, steampunk is, it's an option, I guess, if you get it. But, and then when we're talking about web shooter, it's really you're not going to do hider for the defense. You really want the dodge. So, you know, in the PvE, we had web shooter, but it was a supervillain thing. So you don't really want to use that for Spider-Man. So that's what we got for the graphic. We'll put this out there in the Discord. I've got an MFR resources channel. Try to put these in here anytime I'm going to use them. Again, giant shout out to Halfsend and all the folks who frankly help with builds when we talk about these. If you've got a build that you think is better than anything we've either put out or that nobody's talking about and you want to hit me up on it, hit me up. I'll test it. I'll have some of the people who we work with test it. We always try to do these things. And if we definitely think it's something that's possible that's out there, I'm happy to put a Spider-Man PvP build, you know, run around and do this thing, you know, whatever we name it. So yeah, definitely let me know whatever the character is. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you find this helpful. Like I mentioned, it'll be on the Discord. The Discord link is in the description below. MFR resources channel, the easiest way to do it. If you want to see content like this in the future, please consider hammering down that like button, notification bell, and subscribe. Really appreciate you. Until next time, we hope you have a wonderful day.